Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out.
What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. I'm Mr. Aos Inspires. This is Aos The Podcast. I'm excited. Here, our mission at Aos The Podcast is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I'm excited about this episode. Let's roll it out. This episode, I believe, is it's going to help some people. It's going to help some people. I want it to help. I want you to do a better job at how you navigate in relationships or navigate while you're dating, period. I just want you to do a better job at your navigation, fellas. Really, that's what I want to talk to. Because I hear this all the time. Of course, we hear the old phrase, hood rat, gold digger, any woman that expects better, right? And that's what this whole episode is about. I'm going to talk. It ain't gonna be long. Listen. I just want to release some amazing points to you all because many of you guys don't want the woman to have standards, and that's a big one. Her standards is just high. What's the problem? That's what I'm talking about on today. Her standards are just high. What's the problem? Let's really dissect this thing, right? Because it bothers me, right? Because most men, and I'm gonna tell you this, I already know when we break down this episode into clips, it's gonna be a lot of guys in the comments be like, "Oh, he a simp. It is what it is, because I'm exposing the broke guys, and this is the truth. You can be broke, but not a guy that's broken mentally. And I ain't just saying, I'm saying you financially are broke, but mentally you're like, no, I'm not gonna always be here. I'm moving to another level financially. I'm just putting the pieces together. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the guy that gets $1,000 every 2 weeks, stays with his mom, and you look at him, he's always in high fashion. But he doesn't have a pot nor a window, doesn't have his own place, no car, but he stay fresh. That's what I'm talking about right there. The broke guy, right? That looks at a woman and be like, oh, she's just, she's stuck up, she bougie. No, she has a right to be bougie. Right? And it's crazy because people feel as if, and I like to flip the script and tell the truth about both sides, because it seems as if only men should have high standards, because many guys were like, what she bring to the table? I bring 200K to the table. What does she bring to the table? And the truth of the matter is, I have no issue with a woman desiring a man, right? Because men, you have a desire for a woman to look a certain type of way. Whatever your desire is, whatever your look is, that's how you want your woman to look, right? You want her to have all the curves, whatever you like. So how can you, in return, look at a woman that has high standards and get mad? Just because she wants a guy that wears a suit or a guy that has some money, how is she a gold digger? Please tell me. Now, let's slow this train down. I'm not defending women that only date guys that have money, and when they first see them, they're like, oh, he ugly, I don't like him now. Don't give him a shot. Time of day or a shot, right? But then as soon as she finds out he has money, she's all on him. I'm not defending those women. Nah. I'm defending women with character, with integrity, that will say, listen, I would give you a shot. But there's certain boxes that you must check in your personal life in order for me to give you the time of the day. And I get it. I'm not mad at it. And this is what I've noticed. The guys that don't like a woman with high standards is because he cannot meet her standards. Wow. Bars. The guys that don't like women that have high standards are usually and generally the guys that cannot meet her standards, or he doesn't have standards of his own. Period. I've seen that time and time again. Oh, she bougie, she cocky, she arrogant. What guys are the same way. You have some guys that's arrogant, and it's crazy because a lot of guys feel as if you should do this for me sexually because I got money, or you should do this for me because I got the bread. I'm bringing the bread to the table. Ask Steve Jobs. And I'm not saying that having bread is bad. I love it. No, definitely not saying that. But ask Steve Jobs, did money keep him alive? Oh, my bad. You can't ask him. He's gone. So what I'm saying is money is important, right? It's highly important. I hate when people say, and I can't wait to have my millionaire friend on, but I hate when people say, oh, money and everything. Well, it's not too much you can do without it, right? I'm not saying that money should be the center of everything. No, that's not what I'm saying. But money is highly important. And I can't stand when people say money's not important. It is important. And most times I notice people that say money is not everything are generally the people that's never had any money, right? And I just want to salute all women that have high standards. I salute you. Aos The Podcast salutes you. I love a woman with high standards, right? Now the question becomes, and listen, and if you're offended about this thumbnail, or if you're offended by anything that I'm saying right now, don't be. Because I want you to go back to an old episode that I talk about. Are you wired for her? Then I did one for the fellas as well. Is she wired for you? Period. Because it's just like this. Men get mad. Watch this. Men get mad at the women that have high standards. No, he has to drive this. He has to look like this. He has to have this type of education. He has to have this. I get it. But you get mad when a woman is like that, but you don't get mad at the dealership when they be like, no, the price tag is $100,000 for this car. You don't get mad. You may get disappointed that you can't afford it, but I don't see you boycotting the dealership like, yo, get them cars. Listen, get some $20,000 and some $10,000 cars. No, you need to go to Bobo dealership down the street. Like this dealership right here, we got standards. And the standards are your credit score has to be right here, or you got to have the bag, either one or the other. But it's crazy because I can't stand double standards. You have a double standards to women that you don't live up to yourself, right? You have standards of how you want your woman to be. So does she. She has standards of how she want her guy to be. I have all the respect in the world for a woman that says, I do not want a guy that sags his pants. I'm with you. I dig it. I don't want a man that stays with his mom. Cool. I don't want a man that has a credit score of 500. I understand. So this is the thing. Generally, what I've discovered. Now. Let's look at this. I can't stand a woman that has crazy high standards and she can't meet nothing. I don't like that. Date at the level where you are, right? Like, let's really be honest. I don't want to be the wagon that's dragging or pulling you along because you have high standards, but you can't sustain yourself. Now, I think that it should be an equal playing ground now. Let's make this thing even. If you want a man to have his own place, don't you have a roommate situation? I'm just being honest. I cannot stand a woman that has standards of saying, hey, you got to drive a Benz, but you drive a Honda Accord 2000. I've got an issue with that. Like let's match apples for apples and oranges for oranges. Right? Now, I'm not saying that, okay, she makes 100,000. She wants a guy that makes 150 or 120. I'm cool with that. I understand. You want him to level up. You want him to be, I get it. But don't you work at McDonald's and say, no, I only talk to rappers. I only talk to people that make six figures. Well, six figures not that much now. 7 figures, right? Nah, that doesn't go. That's not a match. And the reason it's not a match, because you may be attracted to him, but he necessarily may not be attracted to you to commit to you. He may be attracted to you to smash, but he may not be attracted to you to get to know you and to build something with you. And vice versa, right? That's why it all boils down to everybody going back to this video that I produced, that the episode, who am I wired for? I did a ladies edition and I did a man's edition. Who am I wired for? And I think that, and I know this is so drastically important to discover who you are wired for. Why? Because you don't want to, I'm not saying that people are out of your league. I don't believe that. I am one to tell you, I don't believe that there's a such thing as they're out of my league. There ain't no such thing. Everybody's in your league. Everybody. I don't care if I've seen cases where the woman was a millionaire or billionaire, right? Let's look at Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky ain't no shab. And, he bring a little bit. He got some money coming to the table, but it's not like that Rihanna money. Let's be honest. So that's why I said there's no such thing to me as a person out of your league. It's not such thing. So what I want to suggest to you today is let's make this thing fair. Let's make it fair. Now, but for the fellas that have an issue with the woman, her standards is just high. She just has high standards. There's certain things that she will not tolerate. And if you meet a woman and you think that she's highly attractive, but you don't meet her standards, you need to go back to now, I'm not saying if you feel like you're in a good space where you want to be and hey, look, do your thing. But what I want to suggest, make sure that you cross all of your boxes. Make sure your credit score is right. Make sure your finances are in good standards. Make sure that you're stable, right? Because it's nothing worse than having a 30-year-old man that has a roommate. Let's really be honest. I get it. You want to save money. I understand. I don't understand. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get it. I don't. A 30-year-old. Now, we did roommates. I never had a roommate, but people do roommates in college, right? College. I mean, we struggling college students. Or we're figuring out life, 18, 19, 20 years old. We're figuring out life, right? But when you hit 30 years old, even if you have an apartment, you shouldn't be having a roommate. That's just me. Unless you're saying, listen, I'm staying in this roommate situation for 6 months because this is going to position me into the better, cool. But you're 30 years old with a roommate? Nah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Especially when you want a woman that's high quality, right? Know who you're wired for. And her standards, and this is crazy. Her standards are, I get my hair done every week. I get my nails done, not a fill-in, but I get a full set every week. There's women out there that get busy, and she can do it by herself. Hair, $200, $300, $400, $500, right? All depends on what she's getting a blowout, maybe $100, right? Nails. Oh my gosh, nails are crazy now. Nails, you get the feet and the hands, you're looking at least 120, at least, right? So what I'm saying is she just has standards. And I get it. I'm with her. I salute her. I am not mad at a woman that has standards. But let's put a prerequisite here. If you have those type of high standards, make sure that you're able to meet those high standards yourself, sister. Sis, don't be having these high standards and you barely get by yourself. I want a brother with that got his own house, that has an Amex, and you still just got a Cash App card. We got an issue with this, right? Listen, it bothers me when women act bougie. And I want a guy with an Amex. I want a guy with a black card. I want a guy that drive a Benz, and you still swiping with your Cash App card. We got an issue. You don't have no bank account. Let's help you mature. But it's cool. I love it that I love a woman that has high standards. Now tell me where the problem is. When she can match her standards, right, that she has, but she wants you to live up to the standards that, and I'm going to tell you this, fellas, if you don't have standards for a woman, you lost. If you just like, yo, long as she fine, long as she got the curves in the right spot, we cool. No, brother. Nah, man, we can't get down with that. We cannot get down with that. I need you to have some standards for the woman that you want to date. Just like women, I love it that you have standards for the guy that you want to date. You're not going to entertain just anybody. I love that. I appreciate that. I salute it. Her standards just high. What's the problem?